Ever scroll to your feed and wonder, how did we get here? From sharing vacation photos to connecting with old friends, social media is woven into the fabric of our daily lives. We all know the giants: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But the story of how we started sharing our lives online is much older, stranger, and more fascinating than you might think. It's not just a story about Mark Zuckerberg in a dorm room. It's a story that stretches back decades, involving bulletin boards, nerdy hobbyists, and a fundamental human desire to connect. So, buckle up, because today we're logging into the true, untold story of social media. Our journey begins long before the internet as we know it. Picture this. It's 1978. The internet is a niche project called ARPANET, used mainly by academics and the military. Two computer hobbyists in Chicago, Ward Christensen and Randy Swiss, are snowed in during a massive blizzard. They have an idea. They create something called the Computerized Bulletin Board System, or CBBS. It was a simple, text-based system. You'd use your computer and a modem to dial into a central server, where you could leave messages for others, read announcements, and download files. It was slow, clunky, and looked nothing like the glossy apps we use today. But this was the spark. For the first time, people who didn't know each other could gather in a digital space to talk about shared interests. Sci-fi, computers, you name it. It was a digital community, the very first of its kind. Throughout the 80s and early 90s, these bulletin board systems, or BBSs, exploded in popularity. They were hyperlocal. You'd dial into a server run by someone in your own town. It was like a digital community center. But the real game changer was the arrival of the World Wide Web in the early 90s. Suddenly, the internet wasn't just for tech geeks anymore. It was graphical, accessible, and global. This is where we see the first true ancestors of modern social media emerge. Remember, it launched in 1994. It allowed users to create their own personal homepages, organized into neighborhoods based on themes like Hollywood for entertainment or Area 51 for sci-fi fans. It was messy, full of blinking GIFs and terrible fonts, but it was self-expression on a global scale. For the first time, you could build your own little corner of the internet. Then, in 1997, a site called 6degrees.com launched. This is the one many experts point to as the very first social media site in the modern sense. Its name came from the 6 degrees of separation theory, the idea that everyone is connected by 6 or fewer social connections. 6 degrees allowed you to create a profile, list your friends, and browse your friends' friends. Sound familiar? It was ahead of its time. The problem was, in 1997, not enough people were online to make it truly thrive. The infrastructure just wasn't there. People didn't have a long list of real-life friends who were also on the platform. It was a brilliant idea that was just a few years too early, and it shut down in 2001. But it planted the seed for everything that would follow. As we enter the new millennium, the dot-com bubble burst, but the desire for online connection didn't go away. This era gave birth to a new kind of social space. Blogging. Platforms like Blogger and LiveJournal, launched in 1999, gave everyone a personal publisher. You could write diary-style entries, share your thoughts on politics, or review your favorite movies. It was a one-too-many form of communication, but the comment sections created vibrant communities. People followed their favorite bloggers religiously, building relationships through shared ideas and discussions. It was a more personal, long-form version of the status updates we share today. This was the era of the personal brand, before we even had a name for it. Then came the giants. The early 2000s were a Cambrian explosion for social networks. Friendster launched in 2002 and became a massive phenomenon, especially in Asia. It was the first social network to reach millions of users, but it struggled with technical issues. When pages took forever to load, users got frustrated. This created an opening. In 2003, MySpace entered the scene, and it took everything to the next level. MySpace was all about customization. You could choose your background, embed music players with your favorite songs, and meticulously curate your top 8 friends. It was a digital reflection of your teenage bedroom, while a chaotic, creative expression of identity. It became a cultural force, launching music careers and defining youth culture for a generation. While MySpace was dominating, something else was brewing on a college campus. In 2004, a Harvard student named Mark Zuckerberg launched the Facebook. Initially, it was exclusive to Harvard students. It was clean, simple, and unlike MySpace, it was built around your real-life identity. You had to have a university email address to join. This exclusivity was key. It slowly expanded to other Ivy League schools, then to all universities, then high schools, and finally, in 2006, it opened to everyone over the age of 13. The focus on real names and real-world connections, combined with a clean interface and features like the newsfeed introduced in 2006, made it incredibly sticky. The newsfeed was revolutionary. Instead of having to visit each friend's profile, it brought all their updates directly to you. It was controversial at first, but it changed the way we consume information online forever. Just as Facebook was opening to the public, another platform was born from a completely different idea. In 2006, inside a podcasting company called Odeo, developers were brainstorming. Jack Dorsey proposed a simple idea: an SMS-based service where you could share short updates about what you were doing with a small group. Te kayed it Twitter. The first ever tweet was sent by Jack Dorsey on March 21, 2006. It simply sighed, "Just setting up my Twitter." The 140-character limit, a holdover from SMS text messaging, forced a new kind of communication brief: instant and public. Twitter found its purpose during events like the 2007 South by Southwest Festival, where attendees used it to coordinate and share real-time updates. It became a global town square, a place for breaking news, citizen journalism, and direct conversation with anyone in the world. And then came the smartphone. The launch of the iPhone in 2007 changed everything. Again, suddenly, the internet was in our pockets, and so was social media. This mobile-first world gave birth to a new kind of platform, one built around the camera in your phone. In 2010, Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger launched an app that did one thing really well. It made your phone photos look better. They called it Instagram. With its simple filters and square format, it turned mundane photos into beautiful, shareable moments. It was visual, immediate, and perfectly suited for the mobile age. Its growth was explosive. Facebook saw the threat and the opportunity, acquiring Instagram for a shocking $1 billion in 2012, cementing its place as a social media titan. From there, the landscape just kept evolving. Snapchat introduced ephemeral messaging with posts that disappear, changing the way young people communicate online. TikTok took the world by storm with its algorithm-driven feed of short-form videos, creating a new generation of creators and trends at lightning speed. Each new platform didn't just copy the last. It tapped into a different aspect of our desire to connect, to share, to be seen, and to be entertained. The story of social media is not a straight line. It's a messy, branching tree of failed experiments, brilliant ideas, and accidental discoveries. From text-based bulletin boards to immersive video feeds, it's a reflection of our ever-changing relationship with technology and, more importantly, with each other. It's a story that's still being written, with every post, every like, and every share. What do you think the next chapter will be? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey through the history of social media as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. See you in the next one.